Hey YouTube, I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to talk about why the Toronto Raptors will win the NBA Finals, or could win the NBA Finals. Now, I'm not saying they are going to win the NBA Finals. I do think it's going to be probably a dogfight between them, the Celtics, and the Golden State Warriors to see who wins that Finals, because the Celtics could go and play the Warriors in the Finals, or the Raptors could go play them in the Finals. Now, there could be other teams in contention, but I think those are really the three main teams this year that are really going to be competing for the Finals. So yeah, I'm going to be giving some reasons why I think Toronto could win it. If you want to see me make any videos why I think Boston or, well, Golden State, obviously, I don't think I can make a video on why Golden State could win, but like, if you want to see me make a video on Boston, comment down below as well. But without further ado, without rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, so my first reason for this video is going to be their defense, as last year they were already ranked in the top 10 among defense efficiency last year among the entire league. So they're already a pretty good defensive team in the league and could lock a lot of teams down. And they have managed to replace the shooting guard, DeMar DeRozan. Yes, he's an all-star for him and was one of their best players, if not their best player, in front of Kyle Lowry. But he wasn't that great of a defensive player. He was more of an explosive offensive player. But now they replaced him with Danny Green. And Danny Green is actually a very, very good defensive shooting guard. Can score the ball a little bit, but his main thing is defense. As I mean, he can actually block, as he averaged 1.3 blocks per game last year, and that's pretty good from a shooting guard. And then also, he's just very fundamentally sound, very good on defense, and that's just a product of being under Greg Popovich for how long he was. But still, I mean, very good defensive player, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have an improvement in defense in that shooting guard position. They might have downgraded player-wise and star caliber-wise, but defensively, I think they upgraded at that shooting guard position. And then, obviously, they added Kawhi Leonard. I mean, Kawhi Leonard is probably the best defensive player in the entire NBA, one of the best defensive players we've seen this century. So, I mean, he is definitely going to be a huge, huge upgrade. So, they're probably going to be top 5, top 3, maybe even the best defense in the league next year. Because, I mean, the Spurs were the best defense last year, and I can't see them staying at that, as yes, they didn't have Kawhi Leonard last year, but they also had Danny Green and some other players that really helped them on defense. So, I think they're going to drop a little bit in defensive efficiency. So, I would not be surprised if you see the Toronto Raptors in the top 5 to best defense in the entire NBA next year. And I mean, you need a good defense when you're competing for finals, because obviously to win the finals you have to go through the Golden State Warriors, and the Golden State Warriors just so happen to have some of the best offensive players, winning from sharpshooter Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, 2-time MVP, Kevin Durant was an MVP and just a beast, unstoppable on offense. Draymond Green, he can't score much, but DeMarcus Cousins, he can shoot threes as being a center. He can score. He averaged like 26 points per game last year. So, I mean, just look at all that. You have to be able to guard, but you really have to cut off the head of the snake if you want to have a chance to beat him. And Kawhi Leonard is probably one of the only players that can actually cut off the head of the snake or slow down the head of the snake, which is Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is by far the best player on that team, and if you can slow him down, maybe you can slow the rest of the Warriors down. And Kawhi Leonard is probably the only player in the entire league that can actually slow down and guard Kevin Durant legitimately. So, I mean, Kawhi Leonard gives you the best chance to beat the Warriors, and we saw that with the Spurs. I mean, before he got injured, they were up by 20 going into either halftime or the fourth quarter. I mean, 20 points when Kawhi Leonard was on the Spurs before he got injured, and they ended up choking that game because he got injured for the entire second half or fourth quarter, I'm not sure. But yeah, but still, my point stands, if you can guard Durant, you have a chance to beat the Warriors. And now with an upgraded team pretty much, because Kyle Lowry is a better point guard than he had with the Spurs that year. Kawhi Leonard obviously better than what they had, but I think he has a better supporting cast and just all-around better players on the team than he had with the Spurs that year, that he was actually beating them pretty bad before his injury. So, I mean, I do think that they do have a chance to compete with the Warriors and actually slow down Durant, which will be huge for them. But my second reason for this video is going to be that they are in the Eastern Conference, and I mean, pretty much we already know who's going to be competing in these. It's going to be the Toronto Raptors, the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Boston Celtics. Those are the three teams competing for the finals in the Eastern Conference this year, as it is pretty weak, and like the front end's pretty strong, with the back end is kind of where it gets rough. But look at it this way, I mean, the 76ers, they have two future superstars. Joel Embiid's already a superstar, and Ben Simmons will probably be a superstar this year or next year. Two potential superstars, but I still don't think that they're there yet. I don't think Markelle Fultz is going to be developed like they need him to be developed. Zaire Smith is out, so there's no chance he's really going to be developing. They're going to be relying on Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons so much. Yes, Ben Simmons has improved his jump shot and all-around offense this year. I mean, over the offseason, I don't think it's going to be enough to put him over the top, so I think Philly will be out. I don't think they're going to the finals. And then it's going to be between Boston and Toronto, and with how good Toronto is with Kawhi Leonard and Kyle Lowry, and just how much more experience they have in these finals experience. As on the Celtics, Kyrie is the only one that has legitimately finals experience and knows what it takes to win and be in the NBA Finals. While you have two players on the Toronto Raptors. Now, Kyle Lowry was not in the NBA Finals, but just look what happened. Kawhi Leonard has been in 2 finals since being in the league. He won one, and then that one that he did win, he won Finals MVP. So, I mean, obviously, he knows what it takes to win in the Finals and dominate in a Finals series. But also, he has been in the playoffs every single year since he has made it into the NBA. And then you look at Kyle Lowry, he has made the playoffs for the 5 years straight now, and has been a very huge piece of this Toronto Raptors team. And if it wasn't for LeBron, he would probably have been in a couple finals as well. And now, yes, he has not made the NBA Finals, but he's made a couple conference finals against the Cavs, and they were eliminated to the Cavs twice. But still, they made to a couple Western Conference Finals, which is very hard to do. And then you look how young they are. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, they're both very young. Terry Rozier, pretty young. Marcus Smart, pretty young. Al Horford's a veteran, but I mean, never really any legitimate playoff success. Besides when they had Isaiah Thomas, and they still got swept by the Cavs almost when they had Isaiah Thomas. Kyrie Irving's the only one on that team that has finals experience, and I do not think Kyrie is a better player than Kawhi. So when you look at best player on best player, the Toronto Raptors have the best player. When you look at experience, the Toronto Raptors have more experience in the finals and stuff, because Danny Green also has that experience among other players. So yeah, I mean, when you just look at all of it, I think you have to give the experience and the just better player and the best player on the court to the Toronto Raptors. So with all that said, I do think it would be a very competitive 7-game series, but I think the Toronto Raptors will be the ones coming out on top. But my last reason for this video is going to be their depth. They have very good depth. As now, since they are starting Serge Ibaka, there have been reports coming out that the Raptors are actually starting Serge Ibaka in the starting lineup. They now have one of the best defensive teams in the league. Because look at your starting now. You have Kyle Lowry, a decent defender. Kawhi Leonard, obviously a beast of a defender. Danny Green, a very good defender. Serge Ibaka, he should be good. And I forget the last guy. I don't know why I can't think of him. But yeah, I mean, so they're going to have a very good defensive team no matter what they do. But yes, you need a good starting 5 to be great in this league, but you also need a very good bench. And what do they have? A very good bench. As just look what they have. They have at backup point guard, they have Fred VanVleet, a last year who was a 6th Man of the Year contender, averaged 11 points per game and 3 assists per game. He was a huge piece of their puzzle off the bench last year and actually got significant minutes. Then at small forward, they have OG Anunoby. I don't really know how to say his name. I don't know if I butchered it or not, but he had a decent rookie year as he averaged 6 points per game. 6 rebounds per game, 5 points per game, and 3 rebounds per game. So I mean, when you look at all that, he had a pretty decent rookie year for being where he was picked. But they also have Norman Powell, who will also be a good from the 3 position off their bench. Then at the center, they probably have one of the best backup centers in the entire NBA. I mean, he should be starting center. I don't know why they're not starting him. I guess they're really focusing on defense. But now they're going to have Giannis Valanciunas off the bench, who last year averaged 17 points per game and 7 rebounds per game. So a very good offensive big man and can also grab you boards, and he'll be very nice for them off the bench. But then also you have Greg Monroe, who will also be a huge signing for this team. They added him this offseason. I'm very happy to see how I'm very excited, should I say, to see how he works out with this Raptors team off the bench. But unfortunately, guys, I'm here for this video. So comment below. Do you agree with me? Do you think the Raptors could win the finals? Do you think the Celtics are going to win the finals? Do you think Philly's going to win the finals? Who do you think is coming out of these? So I want to hear all your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. And, you know, pretty much that's going to be it. But I have to thank y'all for all the support y'all been showing. We're at 905 subscribers. We hit 900 subs today, actually, as of recording it. So, I mean, y'all been showing tons of support. We're only 95 subs away from 1,000. That is so many people, and I cannot thank y'all enough for that. And I can't wait till we get there, hopefully before the end of this year. And I'm going to keep grinding for y'all as long as y'all keep showing support, or just keep watching his videos. As long as there are people watching my videos, that's going to be good enough for me to keep grinding this video out every single day for y'all. And I mean, I just have to give y'all thanks. I mean, y'all are the only reason that I'm here. And I can't thank y'all enough for supporting this channel. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do when I get home. This is what I'm thinking about when I'm at school. This is literally what I want to do when I grow up, and y'all are helping me do that, so I have to thank y'all so much. But another person I have to thank, well, not really a person, is God. I mean, God is the reason I'm here. He put me in this position to be, He gave me all the blessings to be here. He shaped my life to be here. He put me on this mission to entertain y'all, spread his word through these videos, and just like do this, spread positivity across the internet. And this is what I want to do, and I'm pretty sure this is why he put me on Earth, as he has pretty much given me every sign that this is what I need to do. He keeps me motivated, he gives me blessings, and he just keeps showing me signs. So I mean, as long as I'm living my life through his eyes, it's always going to be good, and I'm always going to be in good hands. So yeah, I just had to get all that out of the way, and have to give y'all support, and also have to give glory to God. But I hope you have a blessed day, because I have a blessed day, so you need to have a blessed day. See you in tomorrow's video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.